Welcome to Lost Girl Therapy. Let's talk about rejection sensitivity if you are somebody who has ADHD. So last night I was in class and the ADHD urge to answer a rhetorical question that nobody else seems to be picking up on is so real, even in adulthood. And I had this experience where my mouth went too fast for my brain. I could see that people were thinking about it, but I had already solved the problem, and I had a difficulty biting my tongue. And the tutor in the course was kind of like, "We'll get to you, Lauren, slow your roll." And she didn't say it unkindly. She was very nice and trying to integrate everybody else into this conversation. But holy God, did I feel that to the core. Immediately, I felt the rejection sensitivity kick up, and I could feel internally, even as a 30-something-year-old woman, that I wanted to shut down. And this was an insignificant situation. This was not something where it was make or break, but I could feel the waves of embarrassment, of potentially shame, of guilt, of everything just kind of rising up, and me being like, oh my God, you fucked up. The second thing that I felt was almost a sense of you were too much, you showed too much of yourself, and now you're getting feedback that it is too much for other people, so you need to go back to acting in a manner that is socially acceptable. And that's a really interesting thing, especially being a therapist, when we have to consider the masking aspects of ADHD. So how do we learn how to fit into social norms, even if it's actually against the grain of how our mind/body/emotions roll? And one of the things that I came to the conclusion on as I was emotionally processing this for the rest of class, because it does sit with you for that long. And even when I got home, I was like, you cannot carry this. You cannot obsess over this. You cannot ruminate on this, because it will drag you down. One of the conclusions that I came to was that I'm not too much, and I am not acting in a way that is socially unacceptable. I am moving at a faster pace because my brain moves at a faster pace. And I can give myself grace to recognize that there are times when I am ahead, and there are times when I am behind, and there are times when I am in perfect harmony with the movement of a larger group. But that does not mean that when I am ahead or behind, that I have done something wrong. Being in harmony with a larger group does not mean that I am doing something incorrect in the other times. It simply means that I am at a different pace. And if I learn to accept that and not criticize myself and not, chastise myself for how I exist, I then can see that I am in full control of attuning the way that I roll to better flow in different groups depending on the social needs of a situation. And then I can weigh the pros and cons of, do I want to slow down? Do I want to keep going? Because it's not just the social cues that are critical, but it is also the self-acceptance nature of, in this situation, I want to move faster, or in this situation, I want to slow down. And I can take into consideration how my actions, my words, the way that my brain works also impacts other people and their experiences in a shared environment. And if you're somebody who has ADHD, you might know what I'm talking about. Being in a larger group environment is incredibly challenging because our brains work differently. And trying to navigate the social pitfalls of finding the right words at the right time and nailing the timing, etc., is overwhelming. And when we are in situations where we kind of let ourselves fly, we can receive feedback that it's out of time with other people, but it does not mean that we have to accumulate shame or guilt or self-doubt. We can actually meet ourselves with self-acceptance and say, it's amazing that you're able to problem solve this quickly. And let's give time to the situation so that way we can have an open conversation with everyone around us and feel included and be inclusive.